was a girl or a young lady who was who dated this guy for almost 7 years, okay, and the relationship ended over a phone call after almost 7 years. And then she started to stay single for a long time, and then after which she would enter into another relationship. So the reasons why he gave that they couldn't continue were understandable, but it didn't have to. She didn't have to wait for that long to hear that, you know, they couldn't continue with the relationship and all of that. So she picked up pieces of her heart and she started to move on. And then a couple of years after, she started to date somebody again. This time around, she got engaged, and in her mind, okay, this was going to be the final bus stop, only to find out that 2 years into the relationship, you know, 2 months to the wedding, it had to end because of different reasons, okay? Then in between that, she got a job that she really liked, and she also experienced some level of, would I say, setback, because she was owed for months, and about 8 months or so, and she left not even being paid the money that she was being owed. She experienced that kind of hurts in different jobs that she had worked in, okay? And then even with friendships, she experienced some friendship meltdowns and all of that. With family relationships, she experienced betrayal as well. And that lady I'm talking about is me. You know, so when it comes to heartbreak and hurt from, yes, I know we're surprised, right? Heartbreak and hurt from different relationships and experiences, rejection. I can tell you for a fact that I have experienced these things. But I remember something that my dad always used to tell me, and one of my mentors also. They said, it's not like, life is full of challenges. So you need to, what's the word now? Settle it in your heart that life is full of challenges. But how you respond to challenges will either make or mar you. How you respond to the things that happen, just like conflicts. Conflict is a normal part of a relationship. When you don't prep your mind, it's not as if you're living in fear or you're being paranoid. No, when you don't prep your mind and understand that these things are a normal part of relationship, a normal part of life, you always be hurt. You allow your heart to grow resentment, and resentment will turn into bitterness, and bitterness is poison. Okay, one of the things that helped me. Okay, yeah, but today, this year, I'll be married for 5 years, and I'm super grateful that the person that I thought was supposed to be my husband, or the people that were supposed to be my husband, it didn't work out with them. And the only reason why I can be grateful is because in my heart of hearts, I know, or I knew that there had to be a reason why it didn't work out with them. And it's not as if they're bad people; they were just not meant for me. I can't imagine doing life with anybody other than the person that I'm with right now. Okay, it's not that things are perfect, but he's my person. Okay, I'm in a job, or I'm working with clients that I totally enjoy. I'm doing the job that I love to do. And honestly, the place that I worked that they didn't even treat me well prepared me for where I am, you know, today. So I wanted to come to you and just level with you, not based on any theory or anything, but very, very practically. Friendship meltdowns we all experience. Work issues, some of us have experienced, okay? Family betrayal, some of us have experienced. But if you walk around with a chip on your shoulder, walk around with bitterness, you will not even be able to see the good things that life has to offer you. You'll not be able to see the things that are in place for you. You know, and I like I tell my counselees, if you don't work on your heart or check your heart, you know, and ensure that it's void of resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness, you will walk around looking at people as the enemy. And even if you have so many things to be grateful for, you won't see it because in your mind, things didn't happen the way that you wanted it to happen. Okay, so there's always something to be grateful for. So how do you move on from heartbreak and betrayal and things that you do not, the way you do not expect life to go? How do you move on from it without being bitter? The first thing I always ask my clients to do is to have a gratitude list. In spite of that one person that hurt you or one person that left you, what do you choose to be grateful for? What are the things that have worked for you in your life? What are the things that you are grateful that have panned out? This one relationship ended. And I can always say, one person left you, not everybody in your life. Okay, one person hurt you, not everybody in your life. But what we do is that because we want validation from these certain people, we forget that in spite of the fact that this one person didn't do me right, I have people who have been there and who have been consistent, who have proven that they are loyal and they're committed to me. Okay. And if that person left, that's just a speck compared to the goodness, that God and life have in store for you. So be grateful. Whenever I feel maybe my joy tank is running low, I always sit down and try to think of things that I can be grateful for. It's super important. Nobody can do this particular thing for you. Okay. Number 2, remember that heartbreak may be human, because people sometimes we enter into business or partnership or relationships with people who don't even know exactly what they want. They're still figuring out their lives. Okay. And they might even be broken as well. Okay. And then we enter into relationships with them and it doesn't pan out. It doesn't mean that everybody in the world is against you. It just means that one person, it didn't work with them. All right. So heartbreak may be human, but bitterness is very optional. It's your choice. You can decide whether to be bitter or not to be bitter. Okay. If you're still here, please write in the comment section that bitterness is a choice, because it's actually a choice. You can decide that this experience will not hurt me. Have you realized that there are people who they might experience a level of heartbreak or rejection? They're like, oh, good with that to bad rubbish, and they move on with their lives. Then there are other people who they think the pain will hurt them so much that it'll be very difficult for them to move on from it. Find out, why did this thing hurt me the way that it did? Is it a trigger for for something that happened to me before, or is it did I depend on this person's word so much? Did I build my my life's worth or my validation around this one person? There's always a reason why hurts and rejection or a bad experience would hurt people more than it will hurt other people. Is it reminding me about something that happened in my childhood? Is it reminding me about something that happened and many times bitterness stems from unresolved trauma. And it's almost like a shield. You're trying to protect yourself. When trying to protect yourself, you're making it worse for yourself. Someone said that unforgiveness is like swallowing poison and expecting it to hurt the person who you're refusing to forgive. And unforgiveness becomes resentment. Resentment becomes bitterness. So it has to be checked. Your heart has to be checked. Okay? Because if you want to experience the goodness of life, you're supposed to be like a little child. Children, when you hurt them or when they cry about something, it doesn't take long. They come back to you and they want to hug you and play with you and all of that. Let us not lose that part of us that is childlike, not childish, but childlike. Okay, forgive easily. And then also have your boundaries. Okay, I'm not saying that forgive and then just allow people to just come in and do anyhow. But when things happen to you, just try and ask yourself, why did this thing hurt me the way that it did? Why am I so offended by this person's behavior? Is it something about me is it an occasion about something that I have to deal with, or is it something that is telling me that I have to put more boundaries? Okay, there's no need. When my courtship ended, it was a very painful experience. I will not lie to you. This was in 2018. It was a very painful experience. There were so many lies and it was so unnecessary. And so in the process of not wanting to continue the relationship, the person could have just said, I don't want to continue the relationship. But there were so many lies and deceit and all of that. And that was even what hurt me, about the relationship, and not even the fact that it ended. Because in my mind, I'm like, people can decide to change their minds and not want to continue the relationship, but why go about it in a very, why are you gaslighting? Why are you, behaving that way and all of that? But my friends were very surprised because I kept saying he needs help. And I was very careful about using words that were condescending or bad where he was concerned. And I didn't know that was my own way of working on my own heart. Okay, it'll surprise you that honestly, and this might not happen for everybody the way it happened for me, but I met my husband a year after that, and a year after that we got married. Okay, and this is somebody I had known in university, but we're not friends. If anybody had told me that I was going to meet my husband the year that I did, I would have said it was like, but for over a year, I kept working on my heart. I kept ensuring that I was not bitter. I kept ensuring that I was not resentful. And I was not looking at this person as if my life, and so your life doesn't end because a friendship ends or because a job ends or because, a relationship ends. So you don't have to be bitter because of one person. Do you understand? Okay, there's a way I put it here. Let me just read it. Don't let rejection define you. Don't let the fact that a job ended define you. You're not your job. You're not that relationship. You're not that person that hurt you. If you allow the experience to define you, you're doing yourself more harm than good. Okay, forgiveness is not old school. Dealing with resentment is not old school. It helps. There's a way. okay, there's this, I think it was Bill Clinton, if I'm not mistaken, that I think he had experienced some betrayal and hurt and all of that. And this is something about I think he had a sickness that was supposed to be terminal also. I'm sorry if I'm not saying the story exactly how it is, but he thought that it had to do with medical. It had to do maybe take medicine or take medical treatment or all of that. And he went, I think he saw a counselor or something, and they advised him to let go of all the resentment and hurt that, he has stored up in his heart. And after that, honestly, he started to heal from that experience until the sickness completely left. And I believe, honestly, that a lot of sicknesses that people experience, a lot of bodily pain that people experience stems from the state of their hearts. Okay, so it's important for us to heal, forgive, let's go. There's a picture that is on the internet that says, maybe I'll before we go, I'll just pull it up and then show you. You hurt yourself more when you hold on to things, when you hold on to pain, when you hold on to hurt, when you hold on to resentment, when you release it, you are freer. Okay, you might give yourself scars and pain and hurt, and in your heart, right, you are thinking that if I hold my love from this person, if I don't allow people to hurt me like this again, in your heart you are protecting yourself. But as long as there's bitterness, boundaries and bitterness are they're two different things. Okay, so how do you move on? Like the first thing I said, be grateful. The second thing I want you to do is choose joy. Like just like bitterness is a choice, joy is also a choice. Have you seen those maybe you have those uncles and aunties in the village that nothing is good for them? They're always angry, they're always upset, they're always thinking that everybody wants to hurt them, they're always thinking about the people want to do them bad and people want to do them evil. How do you think that happened? It didn't just magically fall on their laps, or they didn't just magically become like that. It started from when they were much younger. Okay, somebody hurts you, you hold on to it, and you check it. If you still talk about something that happened 5 years ago as if it just happened yesterday, you have not healed from that experience. If you are talking about something and people are telling you, but you haven't forgiven, you're like, I've forgiven, and you know in your heart that you still haven't forgiven, then you haven't let that thing go. Forgiveness is a process, okay? It's a process. It's not something that happens just like this. So every time you remember what they did to you, forgive again, because why? You are trying to keep your heart clean so that good things, you can attract more good things. It's super important. See, I told myself that I will not come and tell you guys any higher. I will tell you the way that it's the thing that I experienced as well. So I can talk about the heartbreak I experienced, or the way I was treated at work, but not, you don't get the feeling like, oh, she's still pained about it. And it's not because I got married. No, it's because I knew that it was for my own good. So I'm even thinking, if I got married with that experience, not science, exactly. If I got married with that experience and I refuse to be bitter, I probably will not also be enjoying my marriage. But I told myself that I will not make somebody else pay for the mistakes of another person. So I will heal. Because if you don't heal from what hurt you, if you don't heal from what hurt you, you bleed on people that did not hurt you. That's just the truth. I'll say that again. If you don't heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on people that did not hurt you. Because hurt people will always hurt people. Okay? Hurt people will always hurt people. And that's why you hear people say men are scum, or women are nasty, or they just say things, and your mind, you're wondering, okay, I didn't do this to you. Why are you treating me as if I am the very person that hurt you? Okay? It's super important that we heal. We heal from the experiences. Hello, Rhoda. All right. So it's very important that we heal from the experiences that were meant to destroy us without allowing it to change who we are. Okay. So do not let rejection redefine you. So the first thing I said was be grateful. Think about the things that have worked and things that you are grateful for. Okay. And then don't ensure that you forgive, because unforgiveness is like poison, like swallowing poison and expecting it to hurt the other person. Okay. If you don't check the bitterness, if you don't check the silent resentment that is growing in your heart, it will poison you. And if you leave it unchecked, it will affect not just your future relationships, but your emotional, physical, and mental health. It does you more harm than good. It does you more harm than good. Okay, so give me a second. Thank you. All right, so that's another thing. So forgiveness doesn't mean that you are minimizing the pain. It does not mean that you are saying that what happened to you did not happen. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying assume that it doesn't happen or pretend that it did not happen. It means that when you were in unforgiveness, you were like in a prison. And then forgiveness tells yourself that, okay, I'm actually freeing myself from this hurt or this pain. Do you understand me? It's super important. Sorry. Okay, so the first activity, I'm going to give you my first assignment. I want you to write a letter to the person that hurt you. Okay, write a letter to the person. Pour out your heart. Say exactly what you would have wanted to tell the person. Pour out the pain. But then end your letter with, I choose to let this go because I want to be free. But then don't send them that letter. Okay? I choose to let you go because I want to be free. So write everything, pour it out from your heart. Journaling is really important. That's another tool that you're going to need on your journey of forgiveness. Because in life, people will step on your toes. People will do you strong thing. People will hurt you. But it's your decision to choose to be resentful or choose to forgive. Okay? Every day you think about that thing, tell yourself, I forgive because I want to be free. I let go because I want to be free. I choose to forgive because I want to be free. It's an ongoing process. It's not something that you just do just like that. Sometimes you can remember and then it comes to that pain. It's because I always tell my counselors that pain is proof that something is wrong and you haven't let go yet. Okay? Pain is a blessing. It's not something to always run away from. Some of us want to run away from pain. We don't want to feel it, but it is proof that something is wrong. I'll tell you a story. There was a day I stepped on broken glass and my friend helped me remove a chunk. My housemate at the time helped me remove a chunk of it. But every time I would step on that, my left leg, I would feel the sharp pain. And I knew that something was off, something was wrong. Okay. So one day I had managed it for a bit. I wear my shoes. The other leg will be okay. This other one will be, painful. I was like, but they removed the glass now. So if they removed this, it's not supposed to be hurting me this much. I know some people's heart cut when you said we should write to people who hurt us. Okay, yes, I know. Yes, but it's super important. It's super important. It has healed a lot of my counselors because you are holding on to so much hurt. Okay, so let me finish my story. And then I told her, please take a flashlight. I gave her a new needle and told her to just help me pick around that area. So she used it with the flash. She saw that there was a very tiny piece of glass. As soon as she removed it, I sighed. Okay, the next time I wore my slippers and my shoes, and they're like, the pain was gone. Till today I haven't felt that pain. But that little particle, as tiny as it was, it may be very uncomfortable. So no matter how tiny unforgiveness or pain or resentment is, it can grow into something that will fester and become poison. What does poison do? Can you leave the comment section for me? What does poison do? I'll read out your responses. When you take in poison, what does it do to you? Are we here? You can even unmute and answer if you want to. People, are we here? Are we here? Okay, I'll just go ahead. Poison has a capacity to, okay, it fights your system. Thank you. It stabilizes your system and it kills. Exactly. It can mess up your hormones. It can mess up it, and the end goal is that it kills. So poison, if bitterness is poison, then why do you want to take in something that will kill you? Okay, yes, poison kills. Thank you, Kazim. Poison kills. So there's really no need for you to be toiling with something that has the potential to kill you. And that is what bitterness does. And that's why we need to move on from bitterness. So the first thing I said is be grateful for the things that have happened for you. The second thing I want you to do is to write that letter, journal it, pour out your heart, pour out the pain. Okay, forgive that person, forgive those people that hurt you, and let them go. Holding on to it is really, it doesn't help you. It kills you. And you really don't need to be walking around life, as dead weight. Okay, walking around life with dead weight. It will help you run fast. It will help you fulfill your calling and your purpose. It will help you to even open your heart to experience new experiences as well. And so ultimately, the person who loses is you. Okay, there's really no need for that. Forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. Just imagine that you go out, you go shopping, you buy a gift, you wrap it, and then you give it to yourself. That's what forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. Okay, you do not need anybody's approval or validation to forgive. I tell people that sometimes closure is actually overrated. It's very overrated. You're waiting for somebody to apologize before you forgive them. See if they never tell you that they're sorry. What if they never apologize to you? You keep on walking around with that dead weight, with you. Choose to forgive. You don't need anybody's validation to release them. Release them anyway. I remember the day I had the final call with the guy that I was engaged, to, after hearing everything, after considering everything, after considering the embarrassment I was going to experience, the shame and all of that. I called him, I prayed with him, and I told him that I release you from my heart. And I meant every word. It's not that after that I didn't struggle with the pain of what happened, but I was determined to not allow that thing to consume or corrupt me. Do you understand? Because I had experienced it before, and I knew that if I let this thing to fester, I'm the one who will lose. And I always feel like when you choose unforgiveness and bitterness, you delay your blessings, like you delay the good things that could actually come into your life. So it's really, really not worth it. Okay? It may take time, but you need to forgive in layers. But you might take, like I said, it's a process, but don't delay the start. It's never too late to hit the reset button. You might have been holding somebody in your heart for a long time, holding them in your mind for a long time. Today is a good day to begin your forgiveness process. Today is a very good day to begin your forgiveness process, okay? And then forgiveness frees you, all right? So I want to ask you a question, and I want you to ask yourself these questions, 2 questions. What do I lose by giving forgiveness? What do I lose? Thank you, Augustina. Yes, forgiveness is in layers. Thank you so much. The first question, what do I lose by letting go and forgiving? Okay. Oh no, sorry. What do I lose by holding on to this experience that I had that is unpleasant? And then what do I gain by letting go? So sit down, draw your book into 2 columns. Okay. Write gain and write loss. Okay. Then on the left side, you can write what you gain by holding on, and what you gain by holding on, and what you lose by not letting go. This would help you to understand why your actions are probably hurting you more than you realize. I just saw a chat that I want to read out. Okay. Excel says closure is not about forgetting the past, but about accepting it, learning from it, and finding the strength to move forward with peace in your heart. That's super amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll just try to round up now, and then we could ask our questions. Okay. Heartbreak may be the end of a chapter. It may be the end of a chapter, but it's just the beginning of your story. There's so many pages left to write and fill up. So don't stop because one chapter ended. Don't pitch your tent on pity party street because you like the attention you're getting because of the heartbreak that you received. People will move on. People will forget. So if you choose not to forget, you're the one who will not move on. You have a whole book ahead of you. Don't stop at that heartbreak chapter. It's not worth it. Okay. And then you can ask yourself, what do I want to build now? This has happened to me. How do I want to move on from this experience? You cannot go around hurts. You can't go around it. You can't ignore it. That thing you're ignoring today will meet you in the future. Okay, so it's better for you to start to deal with it now. Today is not too late to start. Healing is in layers. It's a process. It's a journey. Healing is more like a roller coaster than a linear process. Okay, so people expect that if I say I'm healing, I should just heal like that. Some days when you're least expecting, you remember, forgive again. Choose to forgive again. Choose joy. Joy is a fetcher. If you've ever drawn water from a well before, that tool that they use to draw the water from, that is joy. And the way that you experience life and beauty is how much joy that you have, what the capacity of joy that your capacity of joy that you allow yourself to fetch. That's how much you bring in good things into your life. So it's important that you're always choosing joy. You're always choosing to move on. You're always choosing, hope. Don't let hope die. Like I said, your life is like a book. Don't stop at the chapter because you don't want it to move on. Thank you, Miss Flora. Thank you. I'm a teacher. I call myself a teacher. So I know we tell a lot of analogies so that people can remember, stuff. Okay, so who do you want to become after this? Use your pain for purpose. Don't waste your pain. My pain led me to start, helping other ladies who were dealing with heartbreak and help them come out of it. I've met hundreds and hundreds of ladies across the world that I never would have met if that didn't happen to me. And I never would have met if I chose to stay with my pain and healing. People will call me and say, I have a person I want you to talk to. She's going through what you went through. Even while I was still going through the hurts, the pain. I was talking to ladies and telling them that this too will pass. So you can actually heal from this experience. And sometimes people come in and ask me, how are you able to go through this and not become a shadow of yourself? Because I did not let that pain define me. So don't waste your pain. And one of the ways that you waste your pain is by holding on to the hurt and refusing to let it go. Don't waste your pain. Document your journey, okay? Document your journey, document your experience. Allow it to shape you. Ask yourself, what part did I play in this thing happening? Because sometimes we also are villains in other people's stories, okay? Choose to accept responsibility for the part that you played in whatever happened, all right? And then grow from your experience. Ask yourself, what lessons did I learn from this experience? What will I not do? What patterns did I notice from this experience? And what will I not allow happen again the next time? Yes, documentation is part of your healing process. You have to write it, type it on your phone, write it down, okay? Because you never know who will come along that would need you to also help them, draw them out of that thing that you just faced. And if you don't learn, and another thing about life is that if you don't learn lessons from your experiences, chances are you'll keep on making the same mistakes. You keep on repeating the same patterns. Once you can stop and say, no, I don't want this to continue. What part am I playing? Maybe you are too naive. Maybe you're not somebody that gets counsel before you enter into business partnerships or relationships. You know, maybe you're somebody who likes your secrecy and stuff. And I always tell people, privacy over secrecy any day, anytime. Choose to be private about your relationship. Choose to be private, yeah, but people that need to know should know. Choose to be private. Always get counsel. Don't just jump into things because you think that that's what you're supposed to do. Always choose privacy over secrecy. Don't be secretive about your moves, okay? I know that people say, do it in a way that they never see you coming. I get that. But wise people are builders. Wise people always get counsel. Wise people always ensure that they have a better, a more superior opinion over their own opinions, because your emotions can deceive you. Your emotions can be very, very, and human beings are very fickle. So it's important that you have, wise counsel from trusted people that can lead you in the right direction. Before you start any business, get counsel. Before you start any relationship or friendship, get counsel. Another thing that we do sometimes that we sell our partners, okay? Okay, so when you still talk about your experience and you still feel hurt, does that mean you have not? Yes, I said that earlier. It means that you have not forgiven. Yes, it means that you have not forgiven. Okay, so when you still talk about your experiences and you still feel hurt, does that mean you have not forgiven? Rachel is asking, or you're not fully healed. Yes, you are not fully healed. If you talk about it as if it just happened yesterday, you haven't let it go. And like I said, it's in layers. So anytime you remember, forgive again, release them again. And it's for you. When you see it as you doing it for yourself, it'll be easier for you to let it go. When you see forgiveness as a gift you're giving yourself, you'll not hold on to that person. And when you see that that person is just one out of the many people that God has blessed you with, you'll not hold on to that person either. Okay? I'm almost done. So like I said, use your pain as a seed for purpose. So mentor others, deepen, discover your gifts again. There's one assignment I always give my counselors when I start working with them. I tell them based on your age, so if you're 25 or if you're 20, 25, 30, however old you are, I'll tell you to write down your childhood dreams or things you always wanted to do that maybe you didn't have the time or the money to do, and start ticking off that list. It's like a bucket list. So you just, it makes you like find meaning in life again, get excited about little things again. Like start to do the things that you always wanted to do, but you didn't do. Start that business, write that book, do that course, travel if you can. Okay, start that mentoring group, start that NGO, start again. The things that you've put off for so long, start to do them again. There's just something about being busy about your life, being meaningfully engaged that just helps you realize that. And it now helps you even know the kind of people that you need on your journey. When you have purpose, when your mind, you set your mind on something, you can't go on that journey with everybody. You can't go on a journey with somebody who's going to South Africa when you're going to England. You're not going to the same direction. So when you understand where you're going to, you now know that, okay, if this person did not work out, then they're not meant to be with me on this journey. So instead of pitching your tent on pity party street, you're going to move on with your life and know that, okay, this person was not meant to go. That statement that some people were meant to be in our lives for a season, some for a reason, some for a lifetime. It is super true. Instead of mourning, yes, you mourn the loss of the thing that you miss, but don't allow that to redefine who you are. You are worth more than that experience that happened to you. Okay? So who do I want to become after this? Write that down. Okay? Dig deep roots for yourself. It could be your faith. It could be a philosophy that you live your life by. Okay? It could be a quote. Dig deep roots for yourself. Look at yourself. give yourself to personal development. Okay, this happened to me, but I don't want it to define me. So what area do I need to improve? Get people, be accountable to people, get mentorship, improve yourself, like do little things every day that make you a better person. Don't just say, oh, this thing happened to me, so my life is over. Don't allow it to define you. Your life is, like I said again and again, is a book. Don't stop at the chapter because it's not pleasant. You never know. And you never know what waits for you at the end of the tunnel. You never know what waits for you on the other side of healing. You never know what is there. And it's so beautiful. You never know what is waiting for you on the other side of healing. So instead of waiting, and just living your life based on that one experience, allow yourself to heal again. Allow yourself to love again. Allow yourself to try that job again. Allow yourself to try that experience again. Allow yourself to meet new friends again. Don't just close your heart because of one thing, one person. You're giving them too much power over you. So take back your power. You're giving them too much power. Like I said, the way forgiveness is a choice, bitterness is also a choice. Which would you choose? Something that will kill you or something that will give you life? The choice is yours. All right. So thank you so much for having me here, and I'm open to questions at this point.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, let's start asking questions. What questions do you have? You can unmute and speak. It can also be a comment, or you want to share an experience and you want something from her just to validate what you're thinking. Please share, ask your questions now. If you go to her office, that she will charge you too much money.
Plenty
better
money.
Ask now.
But I'm going to be giving some discounts for people who are on this call today. So you could go through Ms. Farah or Ms. Agnes, and I would work together. I don't mind at all. Thank you. Okay, I think there's a question.
Rhoda, you wanted to ask a question.
There's a question in the comments.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Hi, Rhoda.
Good morning, ma.
Morning.
Good morning, Flora. You talked about selling out our partners.
Selling. Okay.
Yes, I wanted to find out, how do we do that? Sometimes we do not know. So how do we do it? In what
Thank you so much. I didn't finish that thought. Yes, that's such a beautiful question. So you meet somebody that you really like, but you're still getting to know. And whenever you're friends, you're talking about this person, you're always emphasizing their strengths and their good qualities. And you don't allow the people in your life to meet them for who they are. Now, if you now, Rhoda, you're a sweet person, you're a loyal person, you're a committed person, your friends will naturally look at the person that you bring as someone that you want to get, someone that you're dating or you want to get married to. They'll look at them through your eyes. They look at them based on who you are. Okay. So most times, whenever you try to oversell your partners, it's because you probably are also unsure about it. So you're trying to convince yourself that this person is a good person. So you're talking about that person a lot, talking about their strengths. You never talk about the things that you're not comfortable with because you feel as if, oh, we shouldn't talk about those areas. But it's still a budding relationship, okay? I believe that it's a marriage that you cover, to a large extent. But when you're trying to make a decision about who to get married to, you need to put all your cards on the table with people who can tell you the truth. So when you go to them, you don't go to them with this person is perfect. No, allow them to experience him or her for themselves. Especially when you trust their judgments, they'll not lead you astray. Okay. I got some feedback about the person that I was engaged to, and I didn't dismiss it. I put it in my heart. They'll say, and I'll just keep it in my heart. And I started to see the patterns. And then I started to say, this thing. Newsflash. I tried to end that relationship a couple of times, but I was always, it felt as if I was overthinking it, but I was uncomfortable until the thing now, just ended, in my face and all of that. So most times your gut is usually right. Okay. So if you're not sure about your gut, get counsel. It's super important to always ensure that you get counsel. So don't oversell your partner. Don't sell your partner. When I say don't market them as if they don't have any flaws. Okay. Some people have used their red flags of their partners to sow ashwebi. There's no need for that. Okay. If you notice the red flags and you're not sure about it, talk to somebody who you can trust. Okay, so that's super important. Don't just, and we do that because we're also trying to convince ourselves that maybe it's just me. So if I talk about him so much, people will not suspect that anything is wrong with this person. You have to be selfish about who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So you cannot just be careless about your choices. You have to ensure that you do your own due diligence, because you are worth it. You are that important. The female ego, she does not care about if she goes up to the highest mountain, takes a twig with her, and drops the twig. The male ego that is comfortable enough to catch that twig is who she will have babies with. So if animals are so thorough about who they want to spend their lives with, we are kind of careless about it as well. Okay, so I have some questions in the comments. I hope I answered that, Rhoda. I hope that was clear.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right. So how do you feel? Okay, Adams is asking. Oh, I'm not missing anyone. Okay, what if the one who thinks he or she was hurt is really the culprit or offender and didn't realize it? I mean, we have people who will never accept that they're wrong. Oh, that's super true, and that's a character flaw. And I believe that's why we're here, so that we learn the A to Z's of character development. The person who thinks he or she was hurt, if that is you or that's the other person, you tell them, like, there's something about there are different ways of resolving conflict. You have people who are passive. Okay, people who are passive are the ones who they want peace to reign, so they don't talk about issues. They don't want any issues, so they just leave it. They accept defeat and they move on with their lives. Then you have people who are passive aggressive, the ones that you ask them when they tell them good morning and they're asking you what's good about the morning. You walk on eggshells around them. They are very passive aggressive. Then you have the aggressive ones, the ones that break things, that punch, that push, that beats. These are very unhealthy ways to resolve conflict. But these people have never really learned another way to resolve conflict. So then you have people who, when you tell them their wrongs, they'll never accept it because they feel as if they can never do any wrong. But they don't even know that they're thinking like that. And you have the ones who are assertive, and that's the one that I always encourage people to become. Know your opinions, know your values, know how you want to be treated and how you want people to be treated as well. And insist on what it is. So people are treating you in particular. Most times people will treat you how you give them permission to treat you. Not that you should be rude or anything, but you know how you want to treat, you know your opinions, you know your values. Insist on it. Okay, and if you are with a person who never ever accepts that they're wrong or you can't talk to them, you have to put your boundaries in place. If not, they'll keep on doing that thing, and it's very unhealthy. And if you're like that also, you also have to work on it. How can you be a person who cannot receive feedback? How can you be an adult or a child and you cannot receive feedback? You're not perfect. You will make mistakes. And so people should be able to tell you, and then you accept that, okay, I was wrong about this. Okay. But if you keep on telling people about their mistakes and they refuse to accept it, then you are free to put in your boundaries. If not, it's to keep on happening. Oh, I have experienced that one too many times. People will always be people. I've experienced it one too many times. Okay. So I hope that I answered that question, Mr. Adams. Then Augustina is asking, okay, thank you for the feedback. How do you heal when you constantly see the person? This one, oh gosh, thank you for asking those questions, especially when the person is being backed up by a higher authority and your opinion wasn't considered. Like I said, closure is overrated. Forgive them anyway. Okay? Closure is overrated. Forgive them anyway. So you choose to forgive in spite of whether your opinion is, whether you feel validated or not. It's for your own good. Choose to forgive in spite of whether your opinion is considered or not. Okay, let me give you an example. You want to change in a particular area and you're getting flack, you're getting resistance from that area. Would you now say that because of what people are saying, you will not, or you're about to die? Because since we said that bitterness is poison, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and thinking to hurt the other person. You want to forgive, and the person that you are looking at is making it difficult for you. And forgiveness is like killing yourself. You now say, okay, in spite of the fact that I'm going to kill myself, I will not forgive this person because they're not validating my opinions. Do you understand? I'm sorry. Work has started, so you'll be hearing my door opening and closing and all of that because students want to see me, but that's okay. I'll see them when I'm done. Okay, so it choose to forgive in spite of what people, how people make it difficult for you. When you keep on seeing the person, like I said, forgive again. You'll have to palpitate, to beat fast, to beat hard. Tell yourself that it's a journey, it's a roller coaster, not a linear process. Okay, and just keep letting them go. Ask yourself, like I said, that assignment I gave you, what do I gain if I hold on to this pain? And what do I stand to lose what do I gain if I hold on to this pain? And what will I actually lose if I don't release this person? So it's more about you than the person. Always ensure that you're thinking about you and not the other person. Their opinions is one person. How much more opinion, how much power are you giving to them over your emotions and over your well-being? When you choose unforgiveness over forgiveness and bitterness over healing, you're giving those people too much power over you. And that's very unhealthy. For you as a person, it's very unhealthy. Okay. Okay, so Kazim is asking on closure. Sometimes I don't know if it is forgiveness one is looking for or understanding. How do you differentiate the two, or are they both intertwined? Okay, yeah, they're different and they also work. They go hand in hand. Yes, it's important to seek understanding. And yeah, and I believe that we're always looking for, okay, I want you to know my own side of the story. In the event that the person, something happens to the person and you can never reach them again, maybe they die or something, would you now say that you will never get that understanding of that closure? That's how I think about it. If this person did not cease to exist today, we will not heal from that experience. So I treat it like that. If I'm trying to mend something with a person and they're refusing to see from my own perspective, I know what is true. I know what I believe, and I know the fact that I'm not trying to be difficult. I let it go anyway. I always ask myself, people have done things to me that honestly in my mind I'm thinking this was totally unfair. But if you cease to exist today and I lose contact with you forever, would I still hold on to that experience? So I treat it like that. I just treat it as, okay, I assume that this person did not exist. Would I not get my healing or not get my closure? I will. So I understand myself. I'd probably try to talk to somebody who can also let me see if there's something I'm missing about this experience. And if it points out that I was wrong, I accept my own fault in it. Sometimes I try to reach out to them and apologize and all of that and do the one that I can't do. Sometimes those friendships are mended. Okay, sometimes you never have them again, and it's okay. You just move on in spite of. It's one person's experience or two people's opinions, three people's opinions. Compared to all the people in your life, it pales in comparison if you think about it. Okay. So Kazim, I hope I answered that question. So forgive either ways. And second is you can talk to somebody who you can trust, who can help you see reasons and just make peace with it. You will not always get back friendships friendship meltdown is a thing, and sometimes it even hurts more than relationship meltdowns. And you know what? It's okay. The ones that can be in your own way, be at peace with everybody, but it might not mean the peace I'm talking about here might not always mean reconciliation. Be okay with that. Be very okay with it. As much as it depends on you, you can try and work on it. But if it's not working, just allow it to go and open your heart for new experiences. Okay. I hope I'm pronouncing that. Just call you Emmanuel. Emmanuel's asking, how does one see beyond the things you have been through? You are scared to start over, praying what happened before will not happen again. It's faith though. It's just faith. You just have to believe that it's not happen. Learn your lessons, get counsel, but don't live your life afraid. Okay, it's faith. I don't know how else to explain it. You just have to be hopeful that you have better experiences. Like one day I had to sit down after all the jobs that were giving me heartbreak. I sat down and I asked myself, what do I actually want to do with my life? Where do I want to work? What kind of work experiences do I want to have? When I was writing this experience down, honestly, it seemed like it was very, very far from you. No matter what months I got the job I wanted, to be honest. But I had to tell myself, like the places that they were owing me money, I had to tell myself, I let it go. I said, I saw that my salary that they're owing me, my 8-month salary, as seed into my future home, my future marriage. It was funny then. And it felt like I was stupid because people were saying, go and fight for your money. I was like, to what end? To what end? When you can. But I knew the system I was working in. I knew I wasn't going to get anything out of it. So I let it go. And I just told God to give me experiences that will make me forget the past. Give me new experiences to make me forget the pain that I was coming from. I love my job so much. I do counseling with these students and with the adults here. And I also do have my clients that I have all over the world. Honestly, I do not think that this would have happened if I held on to the pain of losing what I thought was important to me at the time. I've gotten paid much more than they withheld from me. Do you understand me? So sometimes just start over. It's not dependent on them. Just start over. It's you we're talking about it. Do you know that you are important? You are special. You are a masterpiece. You are cherished. You are loved. You cannot allow one person, one system, one organization define your value. You define your value. And if you do not choose how you want to be treated, people will treat you how you present yourself. I'm not saying be proud. I'm not saying be unapproachable. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying decide that I am a person of value, and I will choose. I will live my life like I am a person of value. Okay, so you are scared to start over. Do it afraid. Start anyway. Do it afraid. But always ensure that you're going in with counsel. You're going in with wisdom. Wisdom will help you. It will save you a lot of things. It will save you from a lot of mistakes. Wisdom will help you a lot. One of the things that I do, because I'm a Christian, so I've read the book of Proverbs so many times, and it has saved me. I'll just see myself, I say, Vanessa, you were foolish, but because I'm also open to learning, I'm open to doing better, open to developing myself, whenever I see that I made a mistake, I reroute. It's like a GPS signal, Emmanuel. You are going on a journey and you take a wrong turn. GPS will not say, hey, Emmanuel, you have failed at life. Oh, it's over for you. No, it just reroutes. You just see, you hear GPS signal lost, then you now see that it's rerouting. Life is beautiful. There's so much beauty in this life that God has given us and put us in. If you choose to do things well, if you choose to heal from experiences, having experience, go on adventures, you would experience the best and the beauty of life. But if you stay stuck, being with bitterness and resentment and refusing to forgive, you probably will not experience kind of exposure that you want your mind to experience. Okay, so that's how you see beyond the things that you have been through. It's bigger than you, and it's bigger than that person. There's so much beauty in the world to experience. Don't let one person hold you back from. I have had colleagues who have left a job because of one person. I told them, I said, you never let man take away the blessings that God has given you. Because of one person, you lose this experience. You don't know what this thing could become for you. Because of one person, you just throw everything away. That is not wisdom. That is not wisdom at all. Okay? So if you're afraid of starting all over, do it afraid. Start anyway. All right? So closure is overrated. Like I said, if the person that you are trying to get closure from, something happens to them and they die, or you can never reach them again, would you now say that because of that, you'll not still get the closure? So treat it like that. Even if they're alive, I can see them every day. Tell yourself that in spite of this person, I will get my healing. All right? In spite of this person, I'll get my healing. Thank you, Vanessa. This answer of setting your partner makes a lot of sense. I love it. Thank you so much for the feedback, Omotayo. Then Oluwasami Patient says that, how do you heal when you constantly see the fruit of the relationship? For instance, in cases where the relationship you walked out from had a child involved and the child stays with you. Oh, that's such a very touching one. But it's the same thing as what I've been saying. You see the fruit as a gift, not as a curse. It's a choice. Your perspective and your perceptions are choices. You see the fruit of that relationship as a choice, as a gift. I mean, this thing might have not worked out, but I'm going to pour my love on this child. I'm going to ensure that I teach this child what I didn't know when I was their age. My students, I'm still trusting God for children. I don't have children yet, okay, but I know I'm going to have them soon. But all the teenagers that I work with are my children. And I tell them every time I have one-on-one sessions with them or group sessions with them that I will teach you what I wish I knew when I was your age. So I am teaching them life. And all my one-on-one counselees, I am treating them as if they came from my womb, because in my heart, God has given me a gift of influence, and I'm going to use the influence to help the people learn things that they didn't know. And I came with that heart here today as well, that I will tell you what I wish someone told me before, because the things I'm teaching you, I had to stumble over them. I had to make a lot of mistakes to learn them. But you don't have to do the same thing. You can learn, that. So you see these things as a gift. It ended and there was a fruit of it. Oh my goodness, I didn't just leave without anything. This gift, this child is a gift. And I will treat this child like that. There are people who have gotten babies out of, maybe they had a divorce or they had like a failed relationship, and they see that child as a curse. That child will be to you what you call that child, what you see that child as. So if you want that child to be a gift, call that child your gift, and see that child as a gift to you. They didn't ask to be born. They didn't ask to come into this life. They were brought into this life. So you treat them accordingly, and let them have better experiences, and then look forward and hope for a better future as well. Surround them with loving people. If the child doesn't have a father figure or mother figure, put people around them that that can actually be that for them. Okay, so that they don't grow up feeling as if they were not wanted. Rejection is a very terrible thing, and a child can sense when they are rejected. So please don't let if for anything, the child should never feel rejected from either of the parents, because it can actually destroy their own perceptions and affect their own experiences going forward. And you don't want that to happen to them. It takes a long time to heal from rejection if you're not careful. In fact, only God can heal rejection, to be honest. Okay, so okay, the forgiveness cuts across all relationships, father son, father daughter, mother son, mother daughter. Yes, exactly. Like I said, in different areas of our lives. I just didn't talk about the parenting one, but yes, forgive your parents. So forgive your children. People will hurt you, but how you choose to respond to the hurt is what actually matters the most. Okay. Yes. Okay. So what about someone who hurts you and still wants friendship, behaving like nothing happened? Boundaries, because it will happen again. I think I already talked about that earlier, so let me not go into it again. Oh, thank you, Sophie, for the feedback. She said, thank you for keeping the session so real, human, and relatable. I've experienced it and I'm a human being, so there's only one way I can talk about it, and that's from the standpoint of a human being as well. Okay, but thank you for that. Pain, a gift that no one wants. But, oh, thank you so much, Adams. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm so grateful. I hope I haven't missed out any question. Oh, someone says that you really answered my question. I have been hurting for a week now. It's been difficult, but thank you for helping me today. Oh, thank you, Ms. Flora, for the opportunity to help Arome Bogotina. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I think I'm done with all the questions. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you.
So beautiful, and thank you for making it relatable to everyone. So please, for those of you hurting and you still want to speak with her, we'll make her contact available for you to really have a conversation. Sometimes it's good to have those deep conversations with counselors so that you know, just sometimes why we don't see the fruitfulness of coming together is because it's just a one-off. You hear that person, that session, and then you feel, oh, this, but when you go back, you start feeling, oh, I didn't ask her a question, I didn't do this, I wanted to speak with her, but then there are lots of things I don't want to say on this call. Please, you are free to reach out to her and ask her all the questions. Just book a session, just sit down and think about everything that you're going through, how you're going to walk through that, and she will help you. Trust me. You do that, do it again. Before you know it, you will forgive. Okay. So thank you, everyone, for being part of this call, and thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you so much for having
make
me.
your contact available.
Alrighty. All right.
Just for them to speak with you. Take care of yourself. Thanks,
you.
everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
On the call as we something that we are doing. Thank you, everyone. Bye.